Hello friends and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're pitter pattering in the sewing room again today, but I am pulling out a block of the month that I haven't done since last year. This is Poppie Cotton's Country Blessings. Let's see who, I'm going to see who the designer of this is. It just says Poppie Cotton. This quilt, if I do no borders, is going to be a 52 by 68, designed by Gina Barney. And I am using Poppie Cotton fabrics. This is from a local quilt shop in Monroe, Louisiana, called the Haberdashery. I signed up for this last year and just never finished it. So I'm going to finish it. You see I have my camera tilted up where you can't see on my cutting mat because this is a paid for pattern, but I will put a link down in the description for this block of the month book if it is something you think you may be interested in. You can look at it. It's really cute. It's just adorable. But let's get started because I'm getting a late start today. It just is what it is today. You know, I had to go attend business today. I had therapy today. You know, all the things. Just all of the things. So we're going to start. This block is called Sawtooth Stars. So pretty much I'm making like flying geese. I don't like flying geese, but we'll do it. We have to make 4 of each. So I just have to remember how to do the flying geese. I never can do this good, but I know I go from one corner to the other. So we're just going to get started on it, and let's hope I'm not marking my fabrics. I probably should, but I'm not. So y'all keep your fingers crossed for me. Be my luck, it'll turn out better. And instead of me taking them off, I'm just going to do 4 of each one. And then I'll trim them and then do 4 of each of the other ones. That's how we're going to do it today. I know I probably sound a little scatterbrained, but like I said, I'm getting a late start today. And I want to get this out for you guys by 5 p.m. Central Standard Time today. And it's 2 o'clock. And it takes a lot longer than that to edit videos and get them up. So we're just going to see how fast we can get this done. We're hoping this doesn't take more than an hour to do. But if it does, it does. I'm not going to sweat over it. It may be a little later than 5 when y'all get it today because I'm beginning to become the queen of doing it all in one day. Oh, I hope yeah, I got it turned right. Okay. And now, I have a huge packet of fabrics for this. And I know I still have several blocks to do. This is I think the August block from last year. Oh, wait. I don't need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Have to make sure I'm not doing more than my 4. I only need to do 4 of each color. And that's what we're going to do. Let me go on and pull out 4 of each. So I don't risk doing more than 4 of each. There we go. I think I've got my 4 of each one done. Pulled out. This way we don't do more than we need to. But let's see, today We already have over 100-degree temps. At 9 o'clock this morning, we had a real feel of 98 degrees. So, guys, it's getting real. Summer is getting real. And did y'all see that earthquake off of the edge of Alaska? I watched the Richter things. Okay, now, let me tell you something, and I didn't relate this to this at all until I saw that. Last night, I was in here sewing, and it felt like my house shook. And I thought, well, my goodness, I must have had an 18-wheeler or something go by the house on the road. And I thought, well, maybe that's what it was, but I didn't hear an 18-wheeler. So, and it lasted for a while. Well, this morning I got up and I saw about that earthquake, and I was like, maybe that's what it was, because I saw the Richter scale where it showed it going across the United States, and it did come through here. Now, was it a huge magnitude? Absolutely not. I mean, it felt like an 18-wheeler going by the house, but it probably could have been that. I've only been in one other earthquake, guys, and that was in Oklahoma. It was a 3.8. I can't even remember the year of it. That was the last time I went to Oklahoma. And my sister and I had been going to Tulsa for years to a cross-stitch retreat in Tulsa at Post Oak Lodge. The company or the business that hosted the event, they're actually no longer in business, but the Silver Needle is, and they were close. But it was a 3.8, and I was ready to get out of there. I had never in my life, and I think on that trip, actually, we had seen tarantulas, like in the free, uncaged, in the wild. I had never seen a tarantula outside of a cage. I don't want to see them outside of cages, because I'm terrified of spiders. I mean, that was like my worst nightmare coming true, seeing a tarantula out in the wild. And it was like he was looking at me, because I was sitting at a window, because we were cross-stitching. And you wanted to be close to a window for the best light, because I didn't carry a lamp. But, we was at a table there, and it scared me, because it was huge. It was the size of a softball. And I think that trip, we saw all kinds of wildlife that trip. When we left, we got lost, and we saw a bunch of deer. We saw wild turkeys, and I think we saw some, I know we saw the deer, but I think we saw some hogs as well. And we saw turkeys in the wild. I'd always seen turkeys, that people were raising. Never seen them in the wild. I knew they're out there, but I don't know. We may even have turkeys here in the wild. Who knows? I don't know. I don't go looking for them, so I don't know. But guys, I just started off rambling. How are y'all doing today? It's hot, so I hope you're somewhere comfortable and staying cool. Because it's real easy to get taken by heat exhaustion in this heat. I was checking my garden yesterday. I drive my vehicle to the garden so I can look at it. And I called my husband. I'm like, did you cut the water off to the garden? He's like, well, I might not have cut it back on after watering the dogs. Because he knows I don't tend to the dogs. I can't, because I'm very afraid of one of them getting rambunctious, wanting me to play with them and them knocking me over. So I don't. And they have big troughs for water, and both of the houses is in shade, and they kind of bougie. They got fans. So they don't overheat. But they have covered shelter. They're in the shade. They've got trees all around them. And there's no low-hanging branches, so it's not blocking any type of breeze that comes through there. So they're good. But he told me, and I'm like, you're killing my tomato plants. But I have gotten quite a few little cherry tomatoes. I was sitting down looking at some planting books on my garden again. I think I'm going to do like a flower garden this time of year, because where most of my garden is now in a shaded area because the sun has changed. So maybe I'll just do a flower garden instead. But I could do late season crops, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I was just looking. I may just pull out my seeds, see what I got. Right now, I'm definitely not eating certain greens because of oxalates and all that. So I've got to do a little more research on that before I go planting greens. So, okay, so I have that first edge put on. I'm just going to pick it up and start on the second side. Try to get this done real quick like. Trying to keep these flying geese going in the right direction too, guys. Woo! This is a stressful one for me. But it is a very beautiful block. Like I said, this is called Sawtooth Stars. It's a very beautiful block. It's got 4 sawtooth stars put together, or 4 stars put together. And I'm hoping I can just get this zoop together, because I am going to have to run and get a bite to eat before we do the live tonight with Tammy at the Siberian Wind, because that would not be good for me to go on a live and not have eaten. I might have to bring my food on the live. I don't normally eat in my sewing room though. I don't think I'm getting my lines quite where they're supposed to be, but it'll be okay. Somehow it'll be okay. Yeah, I hope y'all didn't hear my stomach just rumble. That is the kind of day I have been having. It's been a pretty well, I'm not going to say nonstop. There is a lot of things I need to be doing in my house that I'm not doing. But like my laundry, I'm going to leave my laundry until nighttime. And I'm going to put a movie on. Well, have that live tonight. I'm going to put a movie on after the live and try to get all my laundry hung up. I have several weeks worth in clothes baskets that I just have not done yet. Guys, I just realized we have a laundry service here where I live. Not just dry cleaning, but laundry. But I'm kind of funny about my clothes. I don't know. I'm going to probably have to do something to catch up my laundry. Maybe my daughter will come help me. Maybe she'll bring my grandbaby and she'll come help me with laundry. Well, she'll come do laundry. I can't even say help, because if she brings that grandbaby, I'm going to be no help at all. I will be playing with a grandbaby. He got him a little haircut over the weekend, and my goodness, he looks so grown. And I asked her how he did, and she was like, well, he did really good. I think the first time they carried him to get his hair cut, like right when he turned a year old, he didn't do real good. But she said he did really good this time. And right now my hair needs a cut, and I'm just fresh out of the shower with it. I let it air dry today, and because I didn't feel like putting heat on my head. But I did get up and go tend to some business. I did therapy, and I wanted to come home and take a nap, but I didn't. But I did sit and do some planning. I'm a planner, y'all. That's just me. I plan stuff normally, and so I was sitting and looking at all my garden stuff and grocery list, things like that, trying to plan that all out, making sure that's going to be on the side that gets trimmed off, because I left some of the selvage on that piece of fabric there, and I don't want that to be up in my stuff. Y'all ever do that? Y'all leave selvage where, you know, you have a piece that's going to be cut off, and that way you get as much off of that piece of fabric as you possibly can? I do that all the time. To me, that, I heard somebody call thread roulette. To me, that's fabric roulette, because you just really don't know if it's going to work out the way it should or not. Most of the time it does. I don't care if I have selvage on blocks. I really don't. It's part of the fabric, so it's fine with me if it's there. But like if I know my fabric's got a little inconsistency in it, I'll turn it, you know, like maybe there's a dye difference. Because some of this fabric, I did notice, looked like it had bleached spots in it. Now, I know it didn't happen here. It's just an irregular dye is what happened. It didn't dye all the way. But I'll turn that where I know it'll be cut out. And I was thinking this may be a quilt that I will sell. I had my mother ask me the other day, and I'm just like, I'm not at a point where I can sell anything I make. I'm just not there yet. But this may be a quilt that I can sell, because it really doesn't have, you know, any special meaning to me. My husband is the one that got this. He thought it was cute and signed me up for it. And the time he signed me up for this, he also bought me that Poppie cotton bundle that I showed you with the cats on it, the Halloween Poppie cotton bundle. He bought that for me too. And just like that, we have the second square put on there. So now we have our flying geeses completed. So now we have to add, it looks like, our squares to it. So what we do is we're going to make the blocks now. So we will use our center squares. And I have to find them because they are color specific. So the first one we're starting on, well, I don't need those squares. Well, I will need the square. Let me just back up and say that. So we're going to have our star points, and we're going to put a white square on the end of our star point. And what I will do is the first two blocks of each row for each star. And then we will do the last block for each one. So this one here is going to be a star in my big square there. This was supposed, they called for a purple in the pink, and I just decided to do all of them the same color and do the same design fabrics. Like the star points are all the confetti star points, and the centers are all the gingham squares. So this will be our third one. So our points are going down, and I'm turning this one upside down. That way I don't start on a seam. So we've got all of our pinks done. So now we're going to yellow. We're putting our star points up. See, guys, I even talk to myself like this when I'm sewing without recording. So y'all just know. And we are doing pretty good time here. We're making pretty good time. I'm going to say that, and it's going to take me another hour now for saying that. But we are at about 37 minutes right now. That is sewing, pressing. You know, that's all of it except for cutting the fabric, because I already had all of the fabric cut. I'm not pinning anything. I probably should, but I'm not. And I think everything looks pretty good. Whether it comes out right or not, nobody will ever know the difference. No one will be the wiser. Okay, so this is our last row for the yellow. I have not cut my block for the sew along tonight, so I may be behind on my sew along tonight, but I do know I've got to get some food. I'm hungry right now, y'all. Right now, that's all that's on my mind. But I want to get this recorded for y'all, so y'all will have a video this evening before we go live. We go live at 7 p.m. I try to get my videos out by 5 p.m. But if I don't, I know y'all understand. I'm harder on myself than anyone else is on me. Oh, and guys, I told y'all I did therapy today. I am finding out when I sit down, the walking is hard after I've sit down. But once I get up and I start walking, my walking is almost normal. So and it just popped. Therapy has been pretty good. I do the inside scar hurts a little bit, but no, let me just say, it hurts a lot. But it's nothing that I can't deal with. But the walking does seem to be getting better. I don't have as big a limp. You know, I'm not giving into it as much now, so I'm happy about that, because that means I'm recognizing that the pain is gone, technically. It's not all gone, but there's not, like the doctor said, there's nothing they can do about that, but I am almost there. So I'm thinking I will be going back to work next week. Hoping. Got my fingers crossed for that one. I mean, I know a lot of people would be like wanting to take as long as they possibly can, and I just want to take enough time to get well, but I don't have to take extra time. Now, I mean, he probably would have let me go back to work this past Tuesday had I wanted to. But just the fact that he wanted me out 4 more weeks. Oh, my knee keeps popping, y'all. Just that kind of lets me know that, you know, I'm not completely healed and I don't need to rush it. Because normally I would have been the one that was like, oh no, let me go back to work, I'll be good. You know, everything will be okay. But knowing that I'm a fall risk is not a good thing. Wouldn't this be something if I could get this done in an hour? Very unlikely, but stranger things have happened. And I have been doing a lot of off-camera, you know, piddle-paddle sewing. And the main thing that I'm sewing off-camera right now is my woodruff. Since I enlarged the quilt to be a bed-size quilt, I'm trying to get those squares done so you can see, you know, what the how long it takes to do the pattern, what the pattern calls for. You know, in my flying geese, I got ends not meeting, and it just is what it is. I'm not gonna stress over it. We'll make it work somehow. And what I'll do is I'll press these once I get all of them sewn. I'll press the squares out or press the rows out and then make them into a square, and then make those squares into a block. But this, you know, other than the flying geese, I'm going to say that other than the flying geese, which is the majority of this block, this is coming together quite nicely and quickly. So, and I know that's what you never do. You never say things like that, because you end up doing something wrong and having to pull out the seam ripper. I won't pull a seam ripper out right now. Because I will just put it together wrong and then take it apart later and fix it. And these flying geese that are not doing right, I'm not worrying about them, because they'll come out in the seams. You know, I can always do the seams a little different. Like if it's not coming out the full length that it should be. Which I don't know. Normally I trim, but today I didn't. Probably because I know I'm on a time crunch. And it's okay. It is all going to be okay. It's so humid today that I got a little glossiness going on my face. And my glasses are wanting to slide down. Can't let that slide down, because I can't see when they slide down. So now what I am going to do is see how I'm supposed to press these and press these out, and then start assembling each of the stars so I can then assemble them into blocks. So I will be right back. We have everything pressed out. So now I've got my pins here. We're just going to get started with the first and second row. We are going to pin and sew. And this is probably going to take a little while. Probably. We are at this almost an hour. And guys, I know some of my stars are not matching up. But you know what? They're just twinkling. That's all it is. They're just twinkle stars. We're going to be okay with it. Matching up these ends here, making sure they're aligned or lined up. Some of these I'm going to have to let the imperfections be covered in the seam, that 1/4 inch seam. I'm hoping it's able to be covered up in that 1/4 of an inch seam. But right now we have all of our pieces used. So all we're doing now is piecing the squares that in turn make the block. I have to make sure I put my star points going the right direction, because that could be bad if they're not. But we're going to say this isn't going to take us very long to do. The thing that takes the longest to do is the pressing, guys. That is really the, well, and if I had trimmed. I'm hoping that not trimming does not get me in the goose. Y'all probably see me picking up a piece and laying it over. That's just the other star points. That's going to be the 3rd row of the blocks I'm making. So y'all will see that, guys. My hair is just getting in the way here, isn't it? Oh, I can see my hair in the camera. I knew I should have. Well, first off, I didn't blow dry it. I just let it dry naturally, and sometimes it dries nicely and other times not so nice. But it sure did feel good to get that nice cool shower after therapy this morning. Oh, it felt so good. Felt so good. On a hot day like today, a cool shower feels good anyway, whether you're doing therapy or not. So now we are just adding that other star point on. I probably should have used a different green, but this was the only green that we had in this design. I guess it'll be okay. It's not going to matter, I don't guess. Y'all, this is high concentration here. High concentration. We just hit the 1 hour mark. I think I just heard UPS make a delivery, because I heard a thump. Normally that's the sound I get when they drop a package on my porch. And my porch is right out that window, like right next to that window there. But the porch does not come to the window. Either that or Amazon. Because I did have an Amazon package coming. My local Walmart did not have my batting that I needed to do my Battenberg. And I think that's supposed to be in today. I didn't go to Hobby Lobby because it's like 2 towns over. And I just didn't feel like the drive. And if I go anywhere right now, I'm going to have to get gas. I just don't want to get gas. But I know I'm going to have to go get some lunch. Because I don't have a thing cooked here to have for lunch. Okay, so I'm going to press these out. We'll be right back after I press them out, and we'll start assembling them into the block. I now have all of my stars. So I am going to start putting them together in the color arrangement that they have, because I think it's a pretty color arrangement. But one of the things is my seams go the same direction. So we're going to have to not nest seams, but pin seams together, which is fine with me. I'm okay doing that. But we're just making sure these seams stay together. The green one, I think, was the only one that didn't point correctly. But that's okay. So what this is going to make a row of a 2-row block. I'm probably going to be wishing that I had trimmed these blocks, but it's okay since I didn't. It will be okay. Now this yellow block turned out beautiful. I don't know if I don't see any mess ups on it because it's so bright, but it did turn out really pretty. Our 2 rows are pressed, so we are going to just put together these 2 rows. I did make sure that center is going to nest. That'll be the only thing that nests, but we are going to get these other seams matched up. Now, it did look like I might have cut off some points, but not really bad. I didn't square them off, which is good. It's good that I didn't square them off, but you know, the point is gone, but it'll be okay. What I'll do now is sew these 2 rows together. Once I finish that, I will press it and trim it and show you how it has turned out. I try to keep these, you know, I try to find a way to get them as even or straight as possible, but you know, your flying geese, when you're making those, sometimes your fabric curves. Mine does anyway. Yours may not, but mine does. And it just makes a mess for me to try to figure it all out. So I just try to keep it straight as possible. You know, now that is where pressing and trimming does come in handy. I did not trim my blocks, but I will trim it. I'm going to press real quick and be right back. Okay, friends, here is our August block. Is that not so cute? Y'all see that? Such a beautiful block. That is the August block that we had for this sew along. Because I believe the quilt shop that I did this with, they started it in January, ended it, I believe, in October. No, December, because I had a December pack. So it was a 12-month sew along. But that is our August. So guys, we are here at 1 hour and 16 minutes. So we did a very fast sew along. This is called, once again, the Sawtooth Stars. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. I will be sewing more things. I'm going to be catching up on stuff. For some reason, I felt like I had more time. I never have more time, even when I'm not working. I have no more time. I don't know how I do it while I work. But subscribe if you have not yet. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.